these things are gone. These fires are tremendous. These hotels that were the lifeblood of Sullivan County, parts of Ulster County, parts of Orange County, for decades, from this silver era of the Catskills near the turn of the century, right through the golden era of the Catskills after the mid-40s, up until in the middle of the 80s, is gone.
Okay.
I'm a person who's been fortunate enough to live and breathe this classic Catskills. I was one of those city kids who came up every summer. My father worked at small places, schlocky places as we used to call them, the Shady Nook Country Club in Loch Sheldrake, nicer places like the Flagler Hotel. We stayed at bungalow colonies like Breezy Corners, and eventually he worked at the Stevensville Country Club in Swan Lake, a year-round resort. But every summer, we used to come up, we made the trip. The Red Apple Rest was the one and only stop, and then we came up to the Catskills. You know, the whole family was in the car, mom, dad smoking in the front, windows open, sort of like a Turkish bath with all the smoke coming in. That was our trip to the Catskills. We knew when we hit the Palisades, we saw the green, we knew we were near the mountains. When we hit the Red Apple Rest, we really knew we were there. Thank God for the Red Apple Rest and all those bathrooms that were open 24 hours a day. And then we hit the Catskill Mountains. And for a city kid, I was very lucky. That's what my summers were like. And my first introduction to the Catskills, probably from the time I was an infant. My father was a tumbler, an MC. He was one of the guys who cut his teeth in the entertainment business, like so many others. When I was 17 years old, I was working as a busboy and later a waiter at the Shady Nook, place where my father started. My family moved up, and he worked at the Stevensville. So I went from being someone who went up in the summertime to someone who was here year-round. And I became very lucky because about 12 years ago, my family, who has been living in Sullivan County, I got to work here at the Times Herald-Record and cover these Catskill Mountains and write about it and be able to, in a certain way, try to tell this story. So it's an amazing area. You try to explain to people that this area has a population of about 75,000 year-round, but in the summer it triples. And for a period of time, there used to be 900 resorts, and then there were bungalow colonies. And in the olden days, we had things that we called hookah lanes, that were basically these kitchens that everybody ate at. And all these hotel stories are pretty much the same. We had people from Eastern Europe came over here. They wanted a better life, so they left the tenements of the city. They come up to the Catskills. They want to be farmers, and they find out that, like so many other people, this is not exactly what you call great farmland. But if you have cows, you're okay, and you can do corn, and you can do apples, and other stuff like that. And so they would have these small boarding houses in which they would use the food from the land, the eggs, the milk, other products, and they would serve their guests. And the guests loved it, and why wouldn't they? The fresh air, close to the city, but just far enough away, the water. It's everything that makes the Catskills special. And these boarding houses, these people who ran them, they realized, you know, we've got something here. And so the boarding houses began to grow. And those who were able to turned 20-room boarding houses into like Grossingers, 1,200 room resorts. We're able to tell you these stories, and we're going to do it through their voices. You're going to see the hotels. You're going to see what they were like in their heyday. You're going to see what they look like today. It's classic Catskills, and if we don't do something now, it's going to be gone.
A bissel Sinn, a bissel Regen, a nu je Gott den Kopf zu legen.